Hello and welcome to UniVerse Touch. Here, week after week, we shape a completely new narrative for the world. One that is where you can be both spiritual and wealthy, cure for the world, and create an extraordinary life for yourself. Today, we're going to go into the third part of real life stories. And I'm very excited for this session because it's on a topic that I love, love, love. In the last episode, we talked about the divine feminine, and the one before, we talked about divine masculine. Today, I will completely transition you into a whole new level and a whole new theme. And we're going to be talking about extraordinary places, properties that I have found along the way, and what those bring both to the universe of Aelia Kos, our club, to each one of us, and to the world. So let's go there. Before we start talking about the properties, I'd like to share with you something that you might not know. I started my career as an architect. So that was my first profession, that was my education, and I always had this very unique connection with buildings, with places. It's almost as if the places are able to inform me for their own purpose, exactly as the humans do for what they want to do, who they are, where they're going, what's their vision, what's their dream. So exactly the same happens with me and properties. Somehow when I enter a space, I can almost like see what is the highest expression of the space, and I'm able to enable it to happen. So right now we are in the very favorable position to be able to support some of these properties to take the next step. And I'll tell you more about that later on. So, as I'm taking you down into the extraordinary stories of these places, allow yourself to really journey and go into these magical places that feel almost out of this world. One of the first places that I found myself in, and it was really like it felt more like it found me that I found it, was a beautiful and incredible space in Sri Lanka. So I'm traveling in Sri Lanka. I have taken an entire month for myself to really recenter and reconnect and be able to explore mostly my inner world and really realize what I want to do next. I really love doing these journeys and I really love doing them in lands that support it. So I was in Sri Lanka driving around and I enter a particular area that is not so well known. It's in the center of the island and I feel something special there. So I decide to stop, have an overnight stay there, and explore more of the area later on. Indeed, I searched to find a very beautiful Airbnb. I stayed there, had an incredible pool. It was just magical inside the jungle. I wake up in the morning and I start checking what is in the area. And I found some gorgeous waterfalls. I go there, I climb the waterfalls. It all feels magical. I'm like, what is this place? Why does it feel so different? The entire island is very beautiful, but here it feels unique. What is it? And then I remember that one of my contacts had connected me with somebody who was residing in Sri Lanka. So I text him and I realized that the place of his father, who was the one who was fostering this particular location, was literally just 5 minutes away from where I was. So I was surprised by that. I'm like, okay, that's such a coincidence, a synchronicity. That's beautiful. Let me see what wants to happen there. I just arrive in this beautiful wooden door. I knock the door, and I get welcomed by the team of this incredible human being that I will not refer his name to keep his identity private. Who was the owner of the land? I I was welcomed in a way that felt so natural, as if we have known each other for years, and I end up realizing that I have stepped into a massive piece of property that included the incredible waterfall where I was last previous hours. And not only that, it's an entire world. So the story of this beautiful place that they started when the owner arrived in Sri Lanka. He realized that there was a lot of trafficking happening, and a lot of small girls were actually suffering from this aspect of reality on the island. And he decided to do something for it. So he decided to create an orphanage for young girls, which still runs until today. And day after day, for the last 30 years, 3 decades, he has been there supporting these young girls that are coming from a very troubled background to find their footing, to find a home, to have a healthy living, to have education, clean clothes, great food. And as I'm talking and I'm hearing the story of this person who picked up this very beautiful task in a land that he didn't know, that was not his homeland, and he brought it into the majesty of right now having biological plantations of cinnamon and pepper, having a massive amount of land to preserve it from cutting it down and sell it for wood, having wild animals, having an incredible range of buildings that are built by hand from the workers, from local workers, from everything, every single detail, having art installed inside of it, having sculptures, creating boutique hotel of local Ayurveda to support people in their healing. And I'm hearing about all of that. And I'm like, wow, what is that? How can a single person in their life, with devotion and dedication, create this entire universe? So it completely blew my mind. I felt so honored. I ended up staying there for 2 days. The owner created all the time in the world to take me around the property, show me all the parts, really understand how it works. And when I got to ask him, why are you doing that? You don't know me. There's no particular reason that I'm here. And he's like, we will find out in the future. I just felt that I need to do that, and I'm doing it. And most of the people I have met that hold the similar quality, they also have this similarity. They act very intuitively. They feel that something is right and they act upon it. There's not so much overthinking. There's not so much strategy in the way that we talk about in the Western world. It's more an aligned action, a pacing that comes together with doing, and then you know what to do next, and then reality shows you, and the environment reacts, and you're just becoming part of it. And it's so beautiful to observe because there is zero anxiety, there is zero stress inside of them. There is immense amounts of work to be done because these types of property need a lot of things every day to take care of. But there's never a moment of doubt, there's never a moment of weight, there's never a moment of dullness. And I have seen time and again in the eyes of these owners that there is a very special spark. There is a spark that tells them, I've lived, and I've lived in devotion. And the devotion has created this incredible impact in the world that is tangible. I can see it, I can feel it. People live from it, people are grown inside of it. And this deep, deep, deep devotion and impact creates a soul that feels fully complete as they go towards the end of their life. And you would expect the opposite. You could expect them to be weighed down from so many troubles and so many stories and so many difficult aspects to solve. As a simple example, this particular owner in Sri Lanka got to talk to me more deeply and more sincerely than it usually does. And he expressed He confessed, may I say, that they have tried to kill him 3 times and he survived. But there was a dedicated attack against him because they didn't want him there. Because many times the status quo is trying to stay, to let things be as they are. And he was going against a very big and very dirty market, which is the market of white flesh, of human beings, the trafficking. So, with all of these things happening in his life, you would expect that he will be completely done by the end of his life. He will just want to go. And yet, the opposite happens. There is a soul that feels young. There is a spirit that feels vibrant. There is even the body supporting everything despite the age. And that made me start wondering if some of the things we've been told or we've been given as life goals, as dreams, as optimal way of living are actually the best way to live if you want to end up in the end of your life and say that I have truly, truly lived. So this incredible space, when I visited, that's already some years ago, was building this extremely cute, well done Ayurveda boutique hotel. So few rooms, very well designed, with beautiful, colorful windows, with sculpted by hand wooden beds from wood from the land, with elephants and tigers and lions and all the animals that are actually in the land, with a wonderful view opening into the jungle, pure silence, waters running around. Jasmine walks as you enter into the entrance. And I was like, this is a dream. What is that? And I know that they are open to receive guests by now. And while Sri Lanka has been having some troubles the last years, the country is recovering. So if you are interested in either being in such a place or host a retreat in such a place or even travel with your loved ones, let me know. I will be happy to introduce you. They will be receiving you like the most honored guests. And I can guarantee that you will feel all this incredible energy that sometimes is missing from the young retreat spaces. Don't take me wrong, I appreciate everybody who has decided to change their life, has decided to buy a property, and is putting their time and effort into it. Deeply, deeply appreciate them. And while the young, the new spaces have a lot of very interesting qualities they're bringing into the healing world and into transformation we're all seeking to create for humanity, there is something special about the places who have been there day in, day out for decades. The field is grounded, it's established. There is no doubt, there is no fluctuation, there's no searching. They are there, full on, doing what they have to do throughout everything that might has come on their path. Natural disasters, weather conditions, political changes, anything you can imagine. They're still there. So when you tap into this field, and that's why we choose these places to host our experience and make them our homes for the UniVerse of Aelia Kos Club, because they bring this depth. There is gravity when you tap into a place like that. And by my experience as an architect, I have realized that there's a very deep relation between human and built environment. And the built environment can either support them or distract them. There is actually studies that the built environment literally changes our brain structure. So we start thinking differently when we are in a round or with organic shapes environment. And we act and start thinking differently when we're in a square, minimalistic environment. So imagine an environment that is not only beautiful, because most of the places are very well done, both the old and the new, they're just like pristine. So they're not only beautiful, which is a high quality that we love, love, love to support and activate during inside the club, but they also have this deep devotion and the tangible impact in communities, in countries, and in the world. And when you're able to open yourself and stay for long enough in these places, something starts transforming from inside of you. You don't even need to know, you don't even need to do so many practices. The place itself and hearing the story of the place is the practice itself. Hearing those owners that they're so gentle and so kind to always take the time to tell us their story, to be sincere and authentic about what it takes to create such a space, to share who they were, what was their vision, and what they wish to see the place to be. It just transforms your way of thinking. Because these are not human beings that were easy to take down. They always knew that they had the special strength. They always knew they had the special vision. And they took the steps to make this happen. And this combination is the most powerful in the world you can ever find. So, right now, we are in the favorable position to be connected, deeply connected, and enabling one of these properties. And this property exists in Greece. It is a very funny personal story because I am personally born and raised in Greece. I started traveling very early because I was never feeling connected with this land. It was a difficult situation for me in my young ages. I needed to explore the world. I need to understand more qualities. And then I found myself coming back to Greece for personal reasons last year, and I have heard about this property, and it has really stuck in my mind because they told me that they have wild horses. And they also told me that it was in Argolida, in the same region where I was born. When I heard it, I'm like, what do you mean? Such a place doesn't exist there. 400 acres, their own source water, wild horses, an American style villa. Like, where? How can I not know that? And yet, I didn't. And I do now. And it is a place we have been hosting our two first experiences under the umbrella of the private club of the University of Aelia Kos. Both of them have been magical beyond imagination, the most powerful ever we have created. From some of them, we even will have babies coming out because this place supports this union, supports this love, supports this union between masculine and feminine. So everything we have been speaking in the previous episodes, this is a land that brings it together, that is living it. It's a deeply, deeply feminine land with a very clear vision and a masculine owner right now. Amazing combination. And the story of that is not less but unique also. So this place used to be owned by a monastery. And it was a place where the monastery was creating food for the entire community during the world wars. So because it's hidden and it's private and you cannot really see it from outside because it has a very special land formation, and you're literally surrounded by the property and enclosed. It really feels like a world, like a bubble, right? They couldn't see it, so it was a perfect place, great climate to actually cultivate food that could support the community. Then it was bought from the current owner as a gift to his wife. His wife has lost her property and he wanted her to have a connection with her motherland, which was Greece. They were both living in the US. Down the line, one of their sons decided that he wanted to start taking over and really fostering this place. But he deeply felt that the only way he will be able to do so is by having horses. So his father told him, very well, sent him some money, and told him, from now on, you're on your own. So he went all the way to Afghanistan, a country that he had very deep links with because he had been doing business there. And he brought two Afghan horses on foot. They crossed the whole Turkey, they had to take the boat, and arrived in Greece. This was 50 years ago. And the beginning of those horses, the offsprings of them are still on the land. Right now, there are 20 wild horses that stay on the land even when the doors and the gates are open. They're beautiful, they're free, they have never been broken. And they can really remind us this wild, gorgeous, sensitive nature that we all have inside of us. So that was just the beginning. The land ended up becoming one of the main producers of rare species of fruit and vegetables for an extended period of time. And at some point, they decided to build this very beautiful villa that is now there, which is an 8 ensuite bedrooms, American style villa. And this is very rare for Greece because usually here we work with minimum space to try to make the most efficient uh, size of rooms. And they decided to go the other way and really create spaciousness and create bigger spaces, incredible fireplaces, an industrial sized kitchen, big dining room, incredible terraces. So the place really feels like a mini palace, even though it was built for family and it was built to be a place of vacation, joy, rest, and beauty. So this land right now is right on the crisp of changing hands into a new owner. So it's calling a new owner. And the both times that we have been there hosting a UniVerse experience, it was very clear that this is an entire world. It can have agriculture, extended amount of agriculture. It has its own water, and you can even do bottlery with the source water, which is really rare in Greece. It has the hospitality with a very beautiful villa. It has permanent residences for one or two families. And then it has the tourism related to Epidaurus, which is one of the most prominent archaeological sites in Greece and works year round. It's right next to Aelia Kos Bay, which is the main bay that all sailing boats from Athens roam around. And it has all of these layers of activities that can happen that are surrounded by a private forest. There's very few words to really describe how special is this place. And we are very deeply honored that it has called us and it is collaborating with us to find the next owner and to bring the right person here and allow the next stage of vision to happen on the shoulders of giants, as they say. So the first time we were there last November, one of our participants was able to capture in wonderful words what are the qualities of this next visionary that will pick up the vision from the previous one and bring it further. And I'd love to share that with you. I would love to read that to you because there's no way of replicating these incredible words. This land whispers to a special one. It called in a few selected over centuries. The gods roam these hills, ancient armies posed to rest here, and the sailors waved them goodbye on passage crossings. This land was chosen by a special person with a unique vision. It seeks a new one, powerful to create bolder visions, a futurist and romantic, a hero and warrior, a poet and a dreamer. An owner who had already made more than a few dreams come true. A barefoot walker, sun gazer, connector, and generator. One who will draw power from its waters, farmland and the gifts Mother Earth shares in abundance. A centered and grounded one who will live and return to it richer and greater with every comeback. To one with an inner sanctum and power to bring more unique individuals together in the place where they will be themselves, connected with the energy source, yet isolated from everyday de energizing distractions, able to think big and drive the world forward. A very special one. This call happens once in a lifetime. It happened 53 years ago. It happened centuries before. And it's happening now. We're opening slots for private tours of the Abiton. If you're interested, let me know, and I will be more than glad to be your own personal guide on this incredible land. For us, this is just the beginning. It is just the beginning of enabling further visions to happen on built space. These places will be connected with a range of people from our network who will be able to pick up the different business models and run them because it's their own passion: agriculture, beekeeping, water, hospitality, spirituality. We have incredible people in all of these fields, so we are happy to support these properties with our incredible social capital, while there is a visionary owner behind it who is able to come in and say, this is my place, or this is the place I want to buy for my family. Because I understand that in a few years' time, it will actually be way more rare to have land that's not built than to have buildings. So the value will shift. What we think now is luxury will lose its quality. And what now feels it's just rural will become precious. Because it is something that you cannot replace, you cannot redo. You just need to preserve and not destroy. And this is exactly what has been happening in all of the locations that are under the universe of Aelia Kos. They have this incredible layer of balance between humans and nature. And when you enter in them, you enter in balance between your human nature and your animalistic side. It's a divine union, masculine and feminine. And the places support that to happen. While there's a lot more properties of such a kind that we are working with, these were the two I would love to highlight for today. I will see if we make a special session about all the different properties and we're able to also bring the owners to talk to you about them. So if that's something that interests you, please let me know, leave your comment, or contact me directly on LinkedIn like Aelia Kos or Instagram Aelia Kos again. You can also get a taste and see some of the properties in our portfolio under the hashtag of Instagram at UniVerse Estates. So you will get to see some of them. We share very selected pictures and you will be able to get a visual sense of what I'm describing right now. But beyond the visual sense, like I really would love you to be able to do is to tap into the vibration of them. Because when you see them, they're portals. And just by connecting with them, you will understand. Then, if you want to visit them, usually the type of process that I like to suggest is get an intuitive connection with them. See the pictures, sense the country, see what you wish to create or where you wish to be, because every land has particular codes, and when you tap into it, they can activate those. So, do you want to create codes that are related to Greece, ancient wisdom, strategy, the unification, divine masculine, divine feminine, Greece could be a good option. Do you want to connect more into the healing qualities of wild nature? Sri Lanka might be your place. Do you want to connect with your creativity and your exposure and your communication? Los Angeles might be your place. Do you want to connect with your artistic nature and the beauty and the poetry? Paris might be your place. So each one of them is bringing quality to you, and it will bring quality if you're hosting a retreat or a group. If you do need guidance to be able to tap into these unique qualities, as you have not visited the places, maybe, I'm happy to support you in that. Just connect with me, let me know that you want some support to be able to connect with these properties. We will find the ones that are more related to you. And we can either create a personalized activation together there if you want to work one-on-one with me, or I will be connecting you with the owners so you can rent it, discuss for sale, or anything that you wish to create there. Remember, their owners are visionaries and they love to support visions. So if you have been envisioning something like that and you feel that's the right time, and any of the problems you have heard about feels like your place, let me know. It will be a delight to support the new owner and also to support the new owner with all the steps that he will need to take and all the people that need to be in place for such a place to run and become an even greater vision, an entire world as they can be. So that was all for today about these extraordinary places, these unique locations, these properties that have really touched my heart and expanded my awareness in all the possible ways. In the next episode, we will continue with real life stories. As you know, this month, I'm not sharing with you in advance what we're talking about, so you can come live and get surprised. We will be here again next week, next Thursday, 7 p.m. Central European Time, with another window into the universe of Aelia Kos, where everything is possible and when magic tends to become normal. Thank you for being here. I'm honored to have your attention, to feel that your vibe, to get your comments, to see you sharing, connecting with others through these incredible places. Thank you, thank you, thank you.